Adam this afternoon on ABC Radio Canberra. Anna Vito with you this afternoon. I wonder if you are a regular blood donor. If you are, you'll certainly know the pride that comes with knowing you've done something pretty amazing for someone that you'll never meet. And now, after a hugely successful national campaign last year, the Australian Islamic Medical Association is launching its 2020 blood drive. It's aimed at continuing to improve the rate of Muslim participation in blood donation. Perhaps it's something you might like to get involved with too. So, to tell us more, Dr. Saleh Khawaja from the Australian Islamic Medical Association is with us. Good afternoon, Dr. Khawaja. How are you?
Good afternoon, Anna. Yeah, very well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. How did this partnership between the Australian Islamic Medical Association and the Red Cross come together?
We actually came about because a lot of us are health professionals and we know the guys over at the Red Cross from working with them. A number of our team and members are quite regular blood donors as well, so that's how that collaboration came into being. And hopefully, yes, absolutely, we're planning on doing another blood drive later on in the year.
And I wonder why this is a focus for your association. Are Muslim Australians notably underrepresented among blood donors?
I think in general, most of the minority communities, including Muslims who come from a variety of ethnic backgrounds, are fairly underrepresented or not as forward to get involved with things like blood donations and stuff, whereas actually we're probably one of the key groups that need to put ourselves forward. So I think it was having that opportunity and wanting to put ourselves forward. In terms of being Muslims, we find it a duty to help others is actually part of our culture, part of our religion.
So what are some of the barriers then, do you think, for Muslim communities, but also for migrant communities across Australia, which might be barriers to people going and donating blood?
Well, I think some of the barriers would probably be a lack of understanding of the process of getting themselves registered for it. And that was one of the key drives that pushed the blood drive the last time we did it, which was last summer. And the other aspects, of course, are that there are some restrictions on who can donate blood, including those who have traveled from international areas, certain countries that the Australian Red Cross will keep exempt, some of them including the United Kingdom, for example. If you've lived there for a number of years, they will exempt you from donating blood, so that's part of it. I mean, currently, IMA, which is the Australian Islamic Medical Association, although the blood drive is on our cards, we're actually looking at something else to help the community, which is an upcoming event to do CPR. So these are just some of the ways that we want to help the community to put themselves forward and really help out other members of our really broad community here in Canberra, but also in Australia as a whole.
And all of these are such important goals, whether it's blood donation or CPR. There might be people listening who'd be quite keen to get involved, actually. What do your campaigns actually involve or look like when you're running them?
Sure. Well, what we primarily do is we're using a lot of social media sort of posts on Facebook, on a variety of headings. We're trying to set up a Twitter feed, so hopefully we'll get up there soon. But then on top of that, we also like to go to the venues that people congregate at. For the Muslim community, it'll be mostly at the Islamic Centre, the Canberra Islamic Centre, and the mosques surrounding Canberra, and trying to really push the message across to the community.
I know your association, Dr. Khawaja, ran a similar blood drive, particularly last year. What was the response that you saw to that?
Oh, it was beautiful. For a number of weeks prior to getting that up, we were really pushing the community, especially at the sort of the weekly prayer times. We would go up and give a good introduction as to what the blood drive was about. And then on the day, we, in collaboration with the lovely people from the Red Cross, we set up a stall at the Canberra Islamic Centre and got a lot of people to sign up, and it was brilliant.
Really exciting stuff. So tell us about your plans then for this year. Do you know yet whether you're going to be able to go ahead or when that might happen? How can people keep in touch with what you're up to?
Well, we do have a Facebook page, the Australian Islamic Medical Association Facebook page. So we always will post on that for every upcoming event. So things like the blood drive, I guess, our plans are to go for it, absolutely. It's all sort of up in the air with the COVID pandemic as to how significantly we're able to do things. So we're doing a CPR course in collaboration with the Federation of Islamic Medical Associations, which is worldwide, which is happening this Saturday. That was sort of up in the air up until, the ACT really managed to get a hold of COVID here. But now we're able to do an event keeping in mind the social distancing rules.
And what's involved for that? I mean, in terms of putting it together in that COVID-safe way, what will be happening this weekend?
Well, in this weekend, we're actually holding what we're calling the Lifesaver course at the Canberra Islamic Centre. So in terms of COVID, we've obviously got to abide by government regulations of monitoring everyone who comes so that they can be contact traced should and that be required. Limits on number of people that are there. We're getting some beautiful help from some of our health professionals who are pharmacists, so they're providing hand sanitizing equipment and masks so that we can do a course in a safe enough possible way. The course itself is around life-saving skills that anyone really should be able to help with. So recovery position for someone who's collapsed, management of choking in an adult and a child, cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR, jumping up and down on a chest for those who have had their heart stopped. And we're also going to be demonstrating the use of an AED device or a defibrillating device. You might have seen those in various shopping centres, certainly at the hospital. And we're going to be doing this with appropriate social distancing, keeping the numbers to a controlled level, obviously monitoring the crowd, everything that we would do normally. And then just doing that for this course, which we had initially planned on doing earlier in the year, but then...
all the things happened. Is there still space on that course, Dr. Saleh Khawaja? If people are listening and they would like to come along this weekend to the Canberra Islamic Centre, is there still that opportunity?
Yeah, there is. I mean, we're rocking up spaces pretty quickly, though, so we might only be down to, I think, less than 10 available spaces. I mean, in an ideal world, we'd love to have everyone come, and the more the merrier, but I think where we are at the moment with COVID, we just have to be that little bit mindful that we can't just allow everyone in. We can't just have everyone crowding together like a big crew. It's just, unfortunately, not possible in today's circumstances. But the more we can train, I would say if you're interested, please register your numbers and your interest with us. Follow us on Facebook for that. And then if we can't do it this time round, we'll certainly get to you the next time round. And that's what I always tell people. Because I think these skills are really vital. I think they save lives. And we want to try and push that message of being able to step forward to help your fellow human being as much as possible.
Really great to talk with you about it this afternoon, and good luck for this weekend. No doubt it's going to be quite a busy one.
Yep, I hope so.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's Dr. Saleh Khawaja from the Australian Islamic Medical Association. A couple of things coming up at the Canberra Islamic Centre. Very few places left. As always, in this age of COVID, you do need to register for all these things. And you can find them on their Facebook page, as Saleh Khawaja said, Dr. Saleh Khawaja said, so that you can keep in touch with perhaps when the 2020 blood drive as well kicks off here in Canberra, in case you might like to get involved yourself as well.